Get to hear from the Director of Legal of the ruling NDC, Edriji Tamaklu, on the current impasse ongoing between the OSP, Kwesi Jakpa, and Ken Ofori-Atta. I want you to have a listen. We'll come back and continue with the conversation in studio.
What exactly is the issue? Is it the issue that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is under an investigation? Is that a problem? Or the declaration that he is a fugitive or wanted? Which one is the problem? What exactly is the problem? That Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is above being declared wanted, or Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is above being investigated? What is it? Look, I am telling you, a former president of the Republic, in the person of John Dramani Mahama, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo specifically wrote to the then special prosecutor Martin Amidu to investigate him. Who is Ken Ofori-Atta? Please, who is he? In the overall scheme of affairs, if a former president of the Republic can be investigated on the basis of a petition by Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself, I never saw this. I never saw President Kufuor ask Jerry Rawlings to be investigated. I never saw it. I never saw former President Mills, may he so rest in peace, ask that President Kufuor be investigated for whatever. I saw Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo ask his head of communication, Eugene Ahi, to write directly to the special prosecutor there to investigate Mahama and his family. So who the hell is Ken Ofori-Atta? Mr. Kwesi Jakpa has not said Ken Ofori-Atta is guilty. I've not heard that. In fact, he had indicated correspondences between him and his lawyers. The only point of disagreement is whether or not he should recover fully relative to whatever medical treatment he is going through abroad before he can honor the invitation of the special prosecutor without more. For me, that is the only point of disagreement. I am telling you that the special prosecutor went to John Mahama and took statements from him. It happened in this Ghana. Nobody raised any issue. So what exactly are the conversation about? What exactly are the issues? I want to know. Please keep me up to speed, because I listened to the special prosecutor. He never said Ken is guilty. He said, I want to investigate. If they are basis prosecute, I'll proceed from there. If they are not, I'll drop the charges. Why? Were we not in this country that the special prosecutor took a Pontius Pilate approach in the Cecilia Dapa matter and said he should go back to the yoke? So it has not always been the case that the investigations conducted by the special prosecutor have resulted in a prosecution. So what exactly is the complaint? If a whole former president could be investigated by a special prosecutor appointed by President Akufo-Addo, how come a former finance minister not be? I mean, where from this? We have had a former finance minister in this republic go to prison. We have had a former deputy finance minister go to prison. We have had a former deputy finance minister prosecuted. I was counsel for the Honorable Atto-Forson, doctor. Do you know what we went through? Look, Atto-Forson criminal investigation and subsequent was instigated by Ken Ofori-Atta. Look, let people not take our seeming silence to mean that we don't know what happened. I was involved. With my senior, we took Atto-Forson to Yoko. In fact, the first day we got to Yoko, by the time we met the deputy director of Yoko, Nana Entry, it was obvious that it was, excuse my language, a foolish case. Yes. Look, Nana Entry, after he listened to Atto-Forson, he said, look, go home with the statement. You go and write it and bring it back. He said, go home, take the police statement form, go home, write it and bring it back. I return it from November 2017. Listen carefully. November 2017, we never heard anything from the police or Yoko. The current executive director of Yoko, Mr. Bashir, they saw the things that happened. Look, on the 17th of November 2021, the budget was read with e-levy in it. The then ranking finance the Honorable Atto-Forson raised issues about the fact that their side was not going to allow for the imposition of e-levy. That was 17th, 19th December when the budget was read. On the 25th of November 2021, I was there when now Speaker sent a letter that Yoko is looking for Atto-Forson. Immediately, 5 days after the budget, either 5 or 6 days after the budget was read, and Atto-Forson had raised issues about the e-levy. Immediately, they invited him. Look, you see, some of it, look, when I took the Honorable, in fact, so Speaker asked us to come to his conference room. I went there with the Honorable Atto-Forson. An investigation that was done for 4 years basically gathered dust from nowhere. They said we should come. When we went there, the investigators came, myself and him. When we went through everything, the investigators simply just said, okay, we'll call you back. Immediately they called me, that they have just been called by the Attorney General's office, that they should take his charge statement because December 22nd, they want to take him to court. Do you know what people have survived in this country? What the hell are we talking about? Look, people have gone through hell under Akufo-Addo and his family members. The manner in which they weaponize investigation and criminal prosecution, never again should we. In fact, they should be lucky that they have a forward-looking president like John Mahama as the president of this republic. That is a man who appreciates the requirement of due process. If you've committed an offense, so be it. But to use the institutions of state to intimidate his political opponent, John Mahama, with his experience with governance, had gone beyond that. They should be lucky that you have just been invited. Look, and this morning I'm hearing. So the special prosecutor is supposed to know that on January 2nd, Ken Ofori-Atta is traveling. So he can stop him at the airport. How is he supposed to do that? Clairvoyance? How is he supposed to do that? But I'm saying that every citizen of this country has the benefit of due process requirement. That extends to Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta and any other person. So we wake up and the impression is being created that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is a special breed. And so he should be treated differently. Look, me, one morning I woke up, I had a call from the then former AG, Marietta. Edwiji, where are you? I said, I'm preparing to work. Rushed to Dr. Ayene's house. When I got to the house, armed police officers surrounded his house. Why? He wrote the legal opinion in the Ameri transaction. What the hell? So if you wrote an opinion and you want him, just a phone call, courtesy. Mamiti Wado Dankwa. She was then the CID boss with Regina Tengi or something. The manner in which was like a Gestapo. My own sector minister, John Jinapo, with his 6-year-old child at home, traumatized. Do you have an idea what we've gone through? Why? Jinapo was in this country. If you are investigating me in Ameri or whatever, all you do is a simple courtesy. Deputy Minister, we are investigating this matter. We need you to assist us, either with a statement or something. The Honorable Jinapo is law-abiding. You would have done that. But they decided to come to his house with armed police officers. I see most of the police officers every day. I see them every day. I say, no problem. You just have to, look, to the point that the Honorable Dr. Aine, his phone, MacBook, everything was taken and taken to Crow. So Crow took it to London.
The call and
took his password. Yes. After God knows what investigation, they found nothing. So they called me that I should come back for the phone. My own clients, in fact, was equally to the point that they even went to the mother's house, went through Silis. Do you know why? They saw the name of Hawa Mahama in the company document and felt that it was John Mahama's sister. What they didn't know was that this, my client's mother, also bears the same name. So when we go to the CID, and I met the investigators, that chief, what's the issue? They said, we have already gone and done recce at the residence of Madam Hawa Mahama. So I asked them, which Hawa? Then they said, oh, she resides around, they gave the place. I said, no. The persons whose names appear here, it's not that person. This is a retired nurse At that time, even hot water had poured on this retired nurse. So we went to the woman's house. What saved the situation was that she had the old passports. That's what saved the situation. And they saw it. I took her there and offered a statement voluntarily. What has happened to Ken? What has happened to Ken? Has anybody touched him? Has anybody done anything to him? No. So what exactly is intimating there? And I heard Afenyomake. What is he talking about? What is Afenyomake saying? Seriously? I said Ken Ofori-Atta instigated the prosecution and investigation of Atofo. Look, do you know what we survived under Akufo-Addo? Yeah. And you see, I kept saying, and those days, whenever we went to court, I kept telling the prosecutor that, look, you see, be careful what you are doing. I know Atofo as my client and as a senior brother. What he does and what he means for this country, he means well. But you have a situation where a government conspired that at all costs they were going to convict him to prove a point. To the extent, look at the extraordinary strength or extent that the then Attorney General Godfrey Adams could go just to get conviction. Look, we are talking about somebody being sick. My own client under Akufo-Addo, who had gone through dialysis for 19 years, was put in prison under Akufo-Addo's watch. What are we talking about? Look, in the Atofo trial, there was another person, Dr. Sylvester Nimana. Do you know what he went through? Dr. Sylvester Nimana. What he went through. Look, the man comes to court and he can barely see what was going on in the proceedings. Even that one was tolerated under Akufo-Addo, human rights lawyer. And Afenyomake is saying what? I mean, he should thank his God. I kid you not, that we have a president called John Dramani Mahama. No appreciation of humanity, not the one that we had previously. Look, Akufo-Addo had no, look, I won't say, I'll leave it there. People went through hell under Mr. Akufo-Addo. What has started? We are just starting a drumming festival and you're already complaining.
Okay, so that was the director of legal for the NDC. These days, he's also CEO of the NPA, Edwiji Tamaklo there. I'm glad I have two lawyers in the studio. Councillor Ato Dazi has also joined me in the studio, and they would help me break down the issues. Councillor Topra, let me start with you. Please help me appreciate this.
Okay.
So I listened to the OSP, and he was very clear. He said the former finance minister is now a fugitive.
Yeah.
And he gave reasons why he called him a fugitive.
Yeah.
One of the key things I recall him saying at the time was the fact that it did not appear that the former finance minister was going to come back to this country anytime soon.
Yeah.
And that the documentation that also found its way to the OSP was not convincing enough.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with what the OSP has said or what he intends to do? Please help me.
Ofakwame, not at all.
So help me understand.
Not at all. Okay. Ofakwame, the office of the special prosecutor was created by statute. So anytime we say statute, meaning it's created by law. Any law emanating from the legislature, we call it statute. And the office of the special prosecutor, that's what people do not know, under section 28, have the same power as the police. So every power given to the police under the Criminal and Offences Procedural Act at 30, that power has been given to the office of the special prosecutor. So if the police can arrest, the office of the special prosecutor can arrest. If the police can issue a warrant, they can also issue. If the police can declare somebody wanted, the special prosecutor also can do same. But Ofakwame, let's look at it from this angle. I look at the special prosecutor and I look at 5 clear things. 1, the special prosecutor in his press that particular day was definite. What am I talking about? He said that Mr. Ofori-Atta is not a person of interest, but a suspect. There is a difference between a person of interest and a suspect. When we say a person of interest, it means we want to see you and take certain information from you. But immediately we say you are a suspect, meaning investigations have been done deep, and now there is a case for you to do what? To answer. I hope you get the distinction.
I get it.
So he's not a person of interest. The special prosecutor is saying that certain investigations have been done, and on that basis, Ken Ofori-Atta have questions to answer. So if something like this happen, you cannot determine when you want to come. You see, if you look at the corresponding between the special prosecutor and Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, it was quite unfortunate. Because Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta said that he will be coming into the country indefinitely. Well, for Kwame, if somebody tell you that I will come indefinitely, or I don't know when I'm coming, it means it can take a year, 2 or 3.
But we know the conditions under which he would have said that. At this point, we know he is not well. So I don't know when I would get well. I don't know when I will get well. I'm not good.
I mean, it wasn't communicated well. You see, when you are dealing
but
with...
is understanding not clear enough? I can say something which I may not communicate well, but yes, the understanding should be clear enough to you.
It is not clear. Let's be fair. As any given time, I've been telling you that always go by Article 17. All persons in Ghana here should or must be treated what? Equally. If you are in Latin, okay, and you are not feeling well, and the IGP or the CID in Accra needs you, can you communicate to the CID that they should give you time, that when you are well, you will come?
Yes, I can.
And you think they will listen to you? They will come and carry you. Or you'll be forced to come. Because all persons must be treated equally.
What if I'm not in a position to come?
Then that's when they will issue the arrest warrant, or you'll be declared wanted.
If I'm not in a position to come?
Yes. You see, first, what the police or the investigative bodies will do is to invite you. But immediately you refuse the invitation, then they will come and arrest you. So you see, there is a difference between invitation and what? Arrest. First, they invite you. So what they are doing to Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta right now is what? It's an invitation. So you see the term that the special prosecutor used, and people were making fun of it, that it has become the most popular word. You see, we have fugitive to justice and criminal fugitive. This one is fugitive to justice. You are refusing to come so that you'll be interrogated and subsequently taken to court.
Has he refused to come?
Yes. If you tell me that you don't know when you are coming to Ghana, then you are refusing to come.
But I haven't said I won't come.
Kwame, we need you for investigation.
So I will come.
You are not special. You, Ken Ofori-Atta, you are not special than any other Ghanaian.
I'm in a position where I can't come.
We are subjected to the same law. Which position? Kwame, let's go there. The position you are talking about is in the letter that Ken Ofori-Atta claim has been issued. See, that thing is not a medical report. It's a letter. There is difference between a medical report and a letter. And Kwame, there are problems with that letter. Ken Ofori-Atta claims he's in America. Is that not so? But the letter was addressed to Ken Ofori-Atta's house in Accra. The letter is not addressed to the special prosecutor. The letter is addressed to Ken Ofori-Atta himself in Accra. Meanwhile, the person is in America. And the letter is to whom it may concern. It is a generic letter, a general letter, not a letter to the special prosecutor. And that's why the special prosecutor said any serious investigative body will not take that letter serious. How can somebody write a letter to you as an investigative body saying that somebody you are trying to investigate is not feeling well, and do not even give you a definite time in which the person can report and come and see you? Is that fair? Is that honest? Is that sincere? Is that reasonable?
Let me put it this way. So a doctor will be taking care of him.
Yes.
I'm assuming the doctor will be taking care of him. In a lame language,
Yes.
that doctor is not God.
Yes.
That doctor doesn't know when Mr. Ofori-Atta will get well for him to be able to come.
Yes.
So Mr. Ofori-Atta says, please give me some time. When I'm okay, I will come.
No, you see, when you are dealing with an investigative body, there should be definite. Things are supposed to be definite. You should be able to give a specific
Can you give
time.
me the exact time you would get to Latte today after the show?
I can give you approximation that by 1 o'clock I should be in Latte. But I can tell you that when I leave this studio, I will get to Latte. There's no definite. That will not be definite. But I will tell you that by 1 o'clock, call me. I'll be in Latte in my room and I'll pick that document for you. But then when I tell you that when I leave this office, I will call you, it means I don't even know when I will get to latte. So the office of the special prosecutor need that definite time. Need that definite what? Time. Because, when time is running and when you are engaging in investigation, certain things can be covered. Okay? Probably, you see, some people have also been saying that the former finance minister have made available his lawyers to the special prosecutor. In criminal matters, we don't investigate your lawyers. We investigate you as a person. So even in criminal matters, in civil matters, right, your lawyer can represent you in court without going to court. But in criminal matters, the court insists that you, the accused person, should be in court. So in criminal matters, everything is about you, the accused or the suspect.
But at this
not
point,
your
I'm
lawyers.
not in a position to be there.
You are not in the position to be there. You don't determine when you want to be there. In criminal matters, you don't determine. If not that overcoming, all of us will commit crime. I'll go onto the street, start committing murder. Then I'll go and sit somewhere when the police invites me. Then I'll be giving them dates. Oh, I am not feeling well. There is a shrine in Latte taking care of me. And they don't even know when I'll be well. So when I'm well, I'll come. Is that how we want to run Ghana? Is that what we call justice? See, we should be serious in Ghana here. Okay? We should be serious. In any case, are we looking at the substantive issue, the reason why Ken Ofori-Atta has been invited? Nobody's looking at that. But we are looking at the matters arising from the OSP's presentation. And people are so funny in Ghana here. Another point is that, you see, the OSP said that it's either those who went to the house of Ken Ofori-Atta staged, or they are imposters. And he's clear on that. And it is true. Because, according to the OSP, a day before the press conference, some media houses in Ghana here claimed that those who went to Ken Ofori-Atta's house were from the office of the OSP. And that's how they introduced themselves. And he's saying that, no, I have not carried out any act such as that. And even if somebody have been there, then the person is staging to be me. Or the person is an imposter anytime the person mentions my name, because I have not ordered my men to go there. If the OSP says this, has he committed any crime? It's not a fact that he was not there. He even stated that they have a symbol that when they come before you, they will show that symbol to you for you to identify that they have been there. And even he went on saying that those in the house knows that those who came there are not from the OSP, but they only want to create a bad name for the office of the OSP. So, you see what is going on. You see what is going on. People are not looking at the reason why Ken Ofori-Atta needs to be investigated.
Let me get Councillor 2 into this.
No, but let me end.
Okay, so end on this premise, because I'll definitely come back to you.
Yeah, I am ending by the C. I support the investigation 100%. I support whatever the OSP is doing, but I regret this action. See, I will say this everywhere I go, regardless of my brother sitting here. See, some of us have worked for President Mahama. Some of us have projected President Mahama at the highest level. We will not allow some people to date President Mahama. Those who went to the house of Ken Ofori-Atta. Why? Why did they go there? For what? The man have already communicated that he's not in the country. What were you going to do there? If mostly search is being conducted, you see that they are coming for your phone, your laptop, and some documents. The man is not in Ghana. What are you going for? Is it a phone? He's going with a phone. Is it a laptop? He's going with it. Why did you go there? Were they able to tell us a particular thing that they got from the house? But you've put in the party in a bad shape. You've put in the name of President Mahama in a tight corner. See, we should not act like Akufo-Addo's government that sponsored military men to go and brutalize people of Ashama.
We can't say that for a fact.
I
can't say that for a fact.
Was somebody punished for that?
It doesn't mean that they were sponsored.
What they did in Ashama, is it right?
But I cannot say
the military
100% that they were
arrested
sponsored to go and do that.
300 people, and none of them was a suspect.
Councillor, I'll come back to you. Let me go to Councillor 2 on this one.